Good morning, everybody. This is Tonetta, your relationship coach at Speak Your Truth, and you're, of course, looking at my 31 days of forgiveness. I actually talked about this in the group about a day or so ago, that I was going to be starting the 31 days of forgiveness for the month of December, and today is December the 1st, and this is the first day. But I wanted to start this series of, well, I guess this series of videos for this month focus on forgiveness. I know over the Thanksgiving holiday, I saw a lot of folks, of course, talking about being thankful and all those kind of things as well, and that's awesome as well. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but I definitely want to focus on forgiveness for this last 31 days of the year, I guess I put it that way. I know, of course, in this particular business, I'm talking about relationships and that kind of thing as well. This will be centered around relationships that we may have with ourselves or may have with others, just to keep that in mind. It may not be, of course, a couple or my partner or anything like that. It could be, of course, the relationships with your parents, family, friends, co-workers, that kind of thing. I'm going to touch on all those things because I have 31 days, of course, of things of forgiveness that I've either talked about in the past and forgiven folks for, or that I'm still, of course, working through those kind of processes on, I guess I put it that way. And, of course, still healing day by day and stuff like that. The reason why I wanted to start this actual 31 days of healing, I listened to Pastor Todd on YouTube, and of course he's been having a FU University, which is Forgiveness University. He's been having that for the last, I think, 10 weeks. I didn't see all of them. I saw just maybe like 2 or 3 videos in the past week or so, and I was like, okay, I want to do something like this. But he actually was challenging people in the last video that I saw of him to, of course, take this year out with the bang, I guess I put it that way. That all this stuff is going on. We have Corona going on. We have all the presidential stuff going on, all these things going on in the world. And what else can we do to, of course, move ourselves forward for the next year for 2021 is how my mind went. Like I said, I know he was talking about taking this year out with the bang and talking about different things that may have been bothering us for years and years and years, and being able to, of course, forgive ourselves, other people, the situation, whatever it was, in those particular experiences and in those lessons. And like I said, hearing that, and then I heard another lady that was, I forgot her name. I believe she was one of the co-pastors or something at the Transformation Church, but she was talking about how her and her partner, her now ex-husband, how they, of course, were going through a divorce and how that impacted her. And the year that they were actually going through their divorce was the year that 3 of her kids were getting married, actually. So she, of course, was having to go through the divorce and then go to her kids' weddings and different things like that. And, of course, learning through her healing process, I put it that way. And like I said, that sparked in my mind. I'm like, I can do this kind of process too, I guess I put it that way, in which I've done a forgiveness process. I've done it on all kind of things. I've actually posted some of them on YouTube, and of course they're on my regular Facebook page as well. But like I said, I definitely wanted to, of course, bring this back because I know in listening to their videos and seeing some of the comments that the folks were leaving, I know that forgiveness is a really big thing that we, of course, struggle with. I know that I've, of course, struggled with it a lot, of course, in the past as well, growing up with all these things going on, all these situations that I face and all that kind of stuff. And I know I'm not the only one who have faced situations with parents or with your kids or with family or with siblings or with your coworkers or with your job or whoever is with, or police officers or whoever it's with. Like I said, we've all had a varying experiences. And of course, those experiences always shape us. One of the other videos, I know I was talking about the Forgiveness University. Like I said, yesterday I was listening to his last kind of video about it. And he put it as simple. I never even thought about, I guess, as simple as he put it. But he was just mainly saying that our lack of forgiveness affects our future, which it definitely does. And as I began to, of course, look at those things and think about those things, I can definitely understand how the lack of forgiveness has affected myself as far as me being able to move forward in my own life and trying to accomplish the things that I wanted to accomplish. So like I said, definitely with all that and everything that I was listening to with the videos and thinking about, of course, my path and what I wanted to do here with this business with Speak Your Truth. Of course, I know we all have to, of course, speak our truth at some point. And like I said, definitely that was the basis of me starting this particular business for coaching and that kind of thing as well, even though it is centered around relationships. committed couples and that kind of thing. Of course, we know relationships are affected by everything that we do, whether it's our couple, whether it's our partner, family, friends, whoever it is. And those relationships, of course, impact us in some kind of way as well. Sometimes it's positive and sometimes, of course, it's negative. And the negative things that we are normally impacted by are the things that, of course, affect us for a lot of our lives, for a lot of years of our lives, for a lot of minutes of our lives, a lot of things that we focus on, and it actually changes our trajectory sometimes in life too. I can't say sometimes, a lot of times it changes our trajectory in life too. So like I said, with knowing all that, I definitely wanted to, of course, do my own kind of series on my own, of course, in my own business, that kind of thing as well, to, of course, tell you more of my story, that kind of thing, and some of the things that I've, of course, been through. But in telling you all that, of course, to let you know what the lessons were and how you may be able to, of course, identify with my story if this happened to you or if that happened to you, that kind of thing as well. And, of course, give you some insight on kind of some of the things that I harbored over the years as far as feelings and thoughts and mindset, and now have been able to, of course, free myself of all those things, or majority of those things. So I know some of these things at times still bother me. I'm not perfect. But like I said, I definitely wanted to inspire you with these videos that I will be doing over the next 31 days. Since today is December 1st, I do have a video for you this morning. And just to let you know how I'm doing the videos, I had a whole stack of note cards back there actually. And the lady that was in the video talking about her husband had met with her counselor or coach or whoever it was, and they had her, of course, write down all the situations that she's been through that's affected her in a negative way on some note cards. So I took it upon myself to kind of do the same thing and write down the situations. Oh, I'll just take them out the bag, actually. But I had them in this bag, actually, so I've been writing them out over, since I've been off work since last Wednesday. I've been writing these index cards, I guess I put it that way. So I have a whole gamut of index cards and that kind of thing that I have stuff, of course, already written on. I may come up with other things that I can think about that I don't have yet, that I want to, of course, forgive someone for, so I can, of course, continue to, of course, move forward and progress down my path as well. And like I said, in doing that, I'm hoping that it, of course, inspire one person that's listening to this video or the other videos that I'll do to, of course, move forward in their life and kind of drop that those feelings, drop that negative mindset, and drop whatever it was that they were dealing with, so that they can move forward and progress in their life and not have to worry about being controlled by this situation anymore, or being controlled by this person anymore, or whatever it was. Like I said, that's the reason why I'm doing these videos. I know there's people out there who have not fully forgiven people for all kind of things, whether it's sexual abuse, all kind of things that's happened in the past. Like I said, our past will always affect our future, especially if we're not dealing with the past. I know with dealing with forgiveness and thinking about all those kind of things, no matter if it's a person, place, or things we have to forgive, that's anything that's negative like that, whether it's sexual abuse or whether it's been bullied or whatever it was, all those things will affect you, or at least a lot of us, in a lot of different ways. I put it that way. And it does prevent you from moving forward in your life, especially if you're harboring bitterness and unforgiveness, and you're harboring resentment, you're harboring anger, because I've done all those, harboring ill feelings against somebody. You hate this person, you hate that person, this kind of thing. Like I said, that definitely affects us in moving forward. So I know some of you all probably saying, well, forgive them for what they did to me, and that's not fair, and this kind of thing. No, nothing that I'm not saying to forget any kind of situation that you've had with whoever it was. And no, I'm not telling you to, of course, just say, oh, I forgive them just because they did this. No, that's not the case at all either. I know that, of course, with us in forgiving, of course, it's not, to me, in my eyes, and what I'm talking about, or going to be talking about in these videos, is not for that person, that whoever done whatever it was to you. This forgiveness is talking about for you forgiving, of course, yourself in that situation, to let go of that situation, so it will no longer affect your life. I don't care if you never talk to that person ever again. That's a choice you have to make. I don't care if you see them in the store, you don't want to say hi, you have an attitude. That's something that you still have to work on in forgiving, if that's the case. Like I said, you definitely have to learn how to get past things. I know that's easier said than done, but at some point we have to go back and look at all of our negative situation, of course, because especially if they're affecting affecting our future. And like I said, I'll get more into that as I go down these line of videos, but I just want to make sure that you knew that forgiveness is not relieving the person, people, or whatever they did wrong to you. I know that things happen. I know that folks gossip, and I know folks lie on people. I know folks, of course, molest people and rape people and do all those kind of things. I know there's folks that, of course, beat people and are I guess, domestic abusers and things like that as well. All those kind of things affect us in some kind of way. And my main thing, like I said in these videos, what I'm trying to get you all to understand and to realize and have that little light bulb go off, is the forgiveness. It always affects you. The people that you're mad at may have no idea that you're even mad at them, or you even have an issue with them, but you're letting that whole situation or the words or whatever they said control your entire life, while they're out there living their life, doing good, living their life, having fun, not even thinking about you. Like I said, at some point we have to realize that if we're wanting to move forward in our life, like I've been saying for the whole time I've been doing these videos for a few years now, that we have to learn how to let go of the situations and of the people sometimes, whoever has affected us in a negative way, especially if it's blocking us from, of course, progressing in our future, and of course getting all the blessings that we can get. Like I said, definitely those, and like I said, I'll talk more about that in these videos as well, but I just kind of wanted to give you a kind of a backstory, a background, where I'm coming from and where I'm going with these videos. Like I said, the main gist is to, of course, let you know that there's no reason why we cannot forgive anybody and move on with our life, or forgive that situation and move on with our life. I guess I put it that way. If you don't want to look at the person, that's fine. Just look at this situation so it can no longer control your life. And like I said, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get myself started, because I'll keep on talking. And the first one that I chose, actually I chose out the bag this morning, as you all can read that, but you probably can't, it's kind of backwards. But the forgiveness for this particular card for this first day, that's the first one that I picked. It's forgiveness for the folks that made fun of my speech. And some of you all but you probably can't even tell now. But back in the day, actually when I was little, growing up as a child, that kind of thing, I used to stutter really, really bad. Of course, couldn't get my words out at times, and I still talk fast. I know you all can hear that. I still talk fast. I've been trying to work on that, but I've slowed it down just a little bit over the years. But that's in my personality, I think, and it's kind of hard for me to kind of slow down more, but that's okay. But like I said, the stuttering, I used to stutter a lot from childhood all the way up to when I was in college, actually. Not a lot. Well, throughout college, I was trying to, of course, work on that process. But as far as me going through grade school, middle school, high school, I, of course, stuttered a lot. I know people used to say, of course, those who stutter, they always lying, or those kind of things, or they're ignorant, or they're dumb, or that kind of thing. All those kind of negative things that folks say when folks stutter. Like I said, I got the whole brunt of that. Of course, my whole childhood growing up until I was in like my late teens, early 20s. Like I said, that was something that I knew that I, of course, wanted to work on. And of course, I was made fun of for stuttering, of course, or I was dumb, or I can't get the words out, or look at her, she's stupid, or she can't even say what she's trying to say, and people get all in your face talking all this stuff. I got done that way a lot, I put it that way. Not just by those in the educational system or at school, but of course, family, friends, neighborhood people, whoever it was. Like I said, I was looked at for one of the ones who, of course, not all the time, because I know there's other folks who may have had speech impediments and things like that as well. But in my mind, in my eyes, I know I still have those harboring feelings at times, especially when I'm doing videos and I kind of mess up sometimes or something like that. But I've mainly gotten through all that, of course. Some of the folks that actually made fun of me, of course, on my friends list right now on Facebook, actually. So, of course, like I said, I have no problem adding nobody, or, of course, still talking to communicate with people, that kind of thing at all. Like I said, I've never been that kind of person. And like I said, I know that at that time, of course, back in college, those years, of course, I had to train myself to talk to you all like I'm doing now. Because I had two cats, but one of the cats is not, well, actually both cats are deceased now. But I do have a cat now, but back in the day, like I said, I guess that was actually beginning of college, trying to, of course, I was used to just pick a book or pick a magazine, whatever it was, to get up and stand up in whatever room I was in the house and go ahead and start reading, so I can, of course, slow down my words and, of course, enunciate all the words and all the letters and that kind of thing as well. Like I said, that was one of the things that I went through as far as trying to get my speech where I can actually talk to you all on video, or get up in front of a classroom or whatever it was and actually speak and say something or whatever it was. Like I said, I was, of course, very, very, I can't say shy, but I guess I was just very fearful of course, getting up in front of the classroom to, of course, talk and speak and that kind of thing, because I always felt that I was going to stutter and that folks would want to make fun of me and that I was going to be shunned and that kind of thing. And, of course, that did happen at times. But like I said, I definitely had to make sure that I forgave those people. I don't know all the people's names offhand. I cannot say that. I know they were whoever they were. If you're watching this video, I'm talking to you, I put it that way. And, of course, like I said, back then, I, of course, forgave all of them. Well, in college, going through college, and, of course, as I've gotten older, that kind of thing as well, I've, of course, learned to, of course, better forgive them. I guess I put it that way, for in what Pastor Mike said, they sometimes, but they at times do not know what they do. I put it that way. I know a lot of folks say that folks know that they hurt you, or know that when they say things that it's going to hurt you. Some folks, yes, I'm sure they probably know that it's going to hurt your feelings for that moment. But when somebody's making fun of you, of course, when it comes to speech and you're trying to get your words out, trying to express yourself, and you're having a hard time doing so, like I said, those folks that made fun of me, they may not had no idea how that affected me for years to come. I guess I put it that way. I guess that was bullying as well. Of course, as far as you sound stupid, or you sound dumb, or sound like you're lying, all those kind of things. Like I said, getting up in front of people to, of course, speak and talk, I heard all those things every time I opened my mouth to say something. Sometimes on these videos, I've thought about that as well. Just to let you all know, and to also be transparent, I thought about that as well. Of course, to say if I mess up here or I messed up there, that kind of thing. But like I said, now I'm just like, okay, if I mess up, I just mess up, is how I look at it now. But like I said, back then, that really affected me. Like I said, those folks may not have known that it affected me for many years, I guess, out of high school, out of grade school, that kind of thing, because they may have just been trying to make fun of somebody at that moment, in that time, in that minute. And I realized how the things that they had said back then, those words that people say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words are the main things that actually hurt us. I put it that way. When you're looking at the big scheme of things, and trying to, of course, progress through our life and go through our life, and of course trying to love yourself and love others and those kind of things as well. All the words that anybody will ever say, especially if they're negative, they always affect us. And I have no idea where that little slogan came from, the sticks and stone thing. But like I said, that was really a lie. I mean, which I know that now. But like I said, we definitely have to, as far as our words and what we say to other people, we definitely have to look at that. And like I said, looking at and thinking back to all the folks that, of course, were picking fun at me or saying all these things, and looking at me now, I'm just like, okay, I know I did let it affect me for some years in my life and that kind of thing as well. But at this present point in time, it's not affecting me at all. Like I said, sometimes we'll take that back. 99% of the time it's not affecting me. About 1%, of course, with the speech and that kind of thing, because sometimes I still mess up or whatever it is, stumble over a word in the video, and now really doesn't, I guess, affect me as much, saying that, oh my God, I can't finish this, or oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm not even like that anymore. For years, I was like that, actually, as far as being embarrassed to even get up and talk, fearful to not even get up and talk and do my class presentations. Of course, I still mustered through it. I still got through it. But like I said, I, of course, tried to talk as slow as I could, to enunciate as much as I could, that kind of thing, so I wouldn't stutter and wouldn't embarrass myself and that kind of thing, and then get picked on again. Like I said, nobody likes that. And like I said, at some point I had to learn how to forgive them. Like I said, after I, of course, worked on my own speech, talking to my cats and trying to read to them and that kind of thing, to, of course, enunciate the words and of course, get over this kind of speech impediment. Like I said, I definitely had to realize that I had to, of course, forgive them moving forward. If not, I would consistently be scared to, well, I guess you actually wouldn't even see me on video today, I'm sure. I still would probably be scared to talk on video, scared to talk in front of folks, scared to even raise my hand in a meeting to even say something or give my ideas or anything else. Like I said, all those times that people, of course, I'm sure I'm not the only one who was made fun of with anything back in school or in the neighborhood, whether it was a speech impediment or something else. Like I said, we all, I'm sure, at some point had experienced bullying. But like I said, those bullies at the time do not realize how those things that they're bullying us about affect our lives for years to come, especially if it's talking about speech and you're getting scared to get up in front of people and talk, or you're talking about bullying somebody on their weight or their fat or their skinny or hair sharp, whatever it is. Because I got made fun of about, people call me bald head. I didn't have any hair back in the day, or sharp. Actually, my hair was sharp. I put it that way. And like I said, people don't really understand how all the words that they say do break people's spirit, and do, of course, halt folks' lives as far as not being able to move on, as far as, of course, I'm scared to talk and now everybody's going to make fun of me. Those are the mindsets that we have. At least that was the mindset that I had as well when it came time for me to give this presentation or to actually say a speech or do all these things in front of the class or in front of people. Like I said, I always thought about those things. I was always nervous. Palms were sweaty. I'm sitting up there like trying to figure out what I want to say first and that kind of thing. And of course I had to write some things down just to make sure I stay on task or whatever it was. Like I said, that definitely affected me. And like I said, those folks that may have made fun of me, I'm sure back then, they were my age kids, some adults did as well. So like I said, they may not have known how those words were going to affect me going throughout my life. Yes, like I said, they no longer have that kind of impact on me at all. So I'm, of course, on these videos talking to you all, able to, of course, get on video, just say whatever I need to say, except for having this written down. Other than that, I'm I guess talking to you all from what I know, my experiences and lessons and that kind of thing as well. Like I said, I would have never been able to even do that, get on video, talk. I was in Toastmasters as well for a while, giving speeches and that kind of thing. I would have never been able to of course, advance in that area in speaking and getting in front of people, doing speeches and talking and that kind of thing if I would have never forgiven these people for, of course, making fun of me back in the day about my speech and how I couldn't talk and how I couldn't express myself and how I sounded dumb and how I sounded like I was not intelligent and all these kind of things. Like I said, you all would never see me on this phone today talking to you all about these kind of things if I couldn't have forgiven those people to, of course, move on with my life. Like I said, it's not that I'm going to sit there and say, oh, Joey, I forgive you. Maria, I forgive you. Whoever else, I forgive you. That's not what I'm talking about at all today, because I have no idea some of the people I do know, but some of the people I don't anymore. I have no idea. Like I said, I'm not here to, of course, point out fingers to say I'm going to forgive these people for this specific thing. This is just a general type of thing that happened to me. And like I said, with me being made fun of because I stuttered and my speech wasn't good and that kind of thing, I couldn't express myself well. Even though I was a straight A student, like I said, my speech just was not well. My dad, of course, stuttered as well, and I'm sure that's kind of where I picked up on that in the household. But like I said, me not forgiving those people, me not being able to, I guess, to move on, I still would have harbored all that fear to, of course, not being able to get up in front of people, not being able to, of course, express myself, not being able to say what I mean, speak my mind, speak my truth, any of those things. Like I said, that's the reason why I knew I had to forgive them back when I was in college, and of course a little bit after college as well, to make sure that I knew that I was going to be okay regardless, as if those folks had told me all these things of what I was, and I sat there and believed it at the time. Like I said, I had to make sure that I release all those things, that I, of course, let myself know that I'm way better than that. I'm not going to stay stooping down to their level or whatever they called me in the past, and I'm way better than that. Not saying that I'm better than competition, better than everybody else in the world, but I know in my mind, from what I was to what I am now, I was way better than that. Like I said, I'm in competition with myself to make sure that I'm a better person every day of my life. And like I said, all those things, having all those feelings, all that fear, all that embarrassment, all that shame behind my speaking, because I couldn't get the words out and I was all these kind of things all the time. Like I said, that definitely made an impact on me as far as my life for about, I don't know how many years. I know throughout the grade school, throughout middle school, and throughout high school as well, I was always like that. Scared to talk, scared to get in front of people, scared to even express my thoughts or anything else, because I thought I was going to stutter and everybody was going to make fun of me. And I know everybody did not make fun of me. I know that some, of course, were patient, listened, and took their time out to hear whatever it was I had to say after I got done stuttering. But like I said, that those ones who definitely created that impact on me. And like I said, with me not being able to forgive these people, I would have still been stuck in all that fear, stuck in all that shame, stuck in all that embarrassment, and still had that mindset and perspective that every time I opened my mouth that somebody was going to make fun of me and nobody was going to listen, nobody was going to care what I had to say because I stuttered. Like I said, that was definitely something that I had to realize, and I'm hoping that there's somebody out there that's listening to this who may have a speech impediment or who may be fearful to, of course, get up in front of people and speak and that kind of thing. I'm just here to tell you that that's always possible. Just because these folks, of course, made fun of my speech back in grade school, high school, middle school, and of course, college, they may have, I don't know. But I still, of course, got myself up there, said my speeches, did whatever it was to, of course, try to correct my speech and try to get things going for myself. I put it that way. Because I know I had a dream a long time ago, back when I was about 10 years old, that I was standing up on stage at a podium speaking to hundreds and thousands of, well, I don't know how many people, was a whole audience of people. I don't know what I was saying, but it looks like I was inspiring people or telling folks my story or whatever it was, and that always stuck in my mind. So like I said, when I knew that those folks were, of course, making fun of me because of my speech and that kind of thing, yes, it hurt me at that time, but I knew at some point that if that's the dream that I had and that vision that God gave me at that time, that I was going to be impacting people with my speaking and talking and whatever it was I was talking about, that I had to, of course, work on those things, because I know that was a mission of mine to complete in this life. And that's what I'm doing now, I'll put it that way. Like I said, that was definitely something that I was not going to hold myself back from, even though no matter how much of a mindset I had, that I was scared, I was fearful, I was this, I was shamed and all that kind of stuff, I still knew that I had to press forward with that. That's why I worked so hard and trying to teach myself to speak and teach myself the words and teach myself how to enunciate and those kind of things. Yes, I still get caught up on my words now, or sometimes get hung up, or whatever the case may be, but like I said, it definitely does not hold that same percentage or I guess rate of embarrassment, of shame, of fear that I cannot even express myself or talk anymore, or I'm scared to talk in front of y'all. I'm talking to millions of people, I'm sure, whoever sees this video. Like I said, that's definitely something that I had to realize. I had to realize that, of course, with the dream that I had with me being able to speak in front of people and do all these things, I saw that back when I was young. And like I said, with me knowing that folks had made fun of me and I cut myself off from trying to get up in front of the classroom and talk and trying to, of course, express myself, and because I figured I was going to stutter, so nobody was going to believe me anyway, and they're going to think I was lying anyhow, so why even do it? Like I said, that was the mindset that I had to change, knowing that I knew that speaking was a part of my mission and part of my passion on this earth. Like I said, that was definitely something that I had to do. You all may not have that same kind of mission and passion, but just keep in mind, and expressing yourself and speaking your truth and those kind of things. At some point, if you're wanting to, of course, influence people and or be an influencer, or at least tell your story and speak your truth, you definitely have to open your mouth and start doing so. Like I said, that was something that I started doing back in 2017. That's when I first started doing all these live videos, thanks to Live Masters. Like I said, that was something that I have not stopped since then. But like I said, if I would allow it, all these people, all these folks, all these people back in high school, middle school, grade school, some in college, I'm sure as well, people in my neighborhood, people in the family, that kind of thing, if I would have stopped myself from even trying to pursue a dream in speaking, or even get on video and talk, or anything else, saying speeches or whatever it was, I would have let all those feelings of forgiveness, of shame, of just fear itself, of getting up in front of people and speaking because I knew I was going to mess up, I would allow all those kind of things to impact me. And that means that I would have been living probably not as happy as I am, I guess, as I am now, as far as not being able to, of course, like I said, speak my truth and tell my story and tell my lessons and try to influence and, of course, inspire others to, of course, do the same. Like I said, I would have never have even been on that route at all, I can tell you that, if I still had that fear of speaking. Because I know a lot of folks, and actually fear of speaking is, I think that more people fear speaking in front of others than death, actually. From what I understand and from what the statistics are. So like I said, I definitely know that if I would have harbored all those ill feelings, all that negative mindset, every time that I want to get up and talk, I would have, y'all will never see me on this camera today, I can tell you that. Like I said, and that's something that I hope that somebody who's listening to this, of course, pick up on that. I guess I put it that way, especially if this pertains to you. If you're one who may be scared to talk on video, or you're one that stutters like I used to, and that kind of thing, and can't get your words out, and scared to get up and talk, in front of people and that kind of thing. Hopefully this video is inspiring you to, of course, try to go ahead and go on down that path, especially if it's something that you really, really want to do and you see that it's stunting your growth, I put it that way. And like I said, I just want to come on with this video this morning talking about, like I said, this is the first video in the series, my 31 days of forgiveness. And this video was talking about the folks that made fun of my speaking back in the day, and how it affected me, and how, of course, I was able to forgive them in order for me to move on. And like I said, the whole process, I don't know of a specific process. My main thing was, of course, just acknowledging the problem or the issue, which was, of course, my speech and what they were telling me, what went on, all those kind of things that they told me. And, of course, just letting myself know that I'm better than that, and I can move forward past that. And that should not impact my life as long as it had been. And like I said, that me knowing that my passion and my mission was to, of course, speak and influence and inspire and educate, I had to, of course, get past the actual forgiveness part, as far as letting myself know that it's okay to let that go, it's okay to move forward, and it's okay to, of course, say that I can improve my speech and do better with my speaking, and it really does not matter if anybody wants to, of course, make fun of me now, or say I can't talk now, or I talk too fast still, or whatever it is. It's not going to hurt my feelings anymore like that. Like I said, majority of the time, I'm like, I don't care, whatever, I'm going to say what I want to say, whether no matter how fast I'm talking or whatever the case is going to be. But like I said, I definitely had to get to a point where I had not let that affect me anymore, where I have not let anybody, I'm not stuttering as much anymore. Sometimes I may, like I said, still get caught up on words, but for the majority of the time, like I said, I haven't had anybody saying that I was talking too fast, or I sound stupid, it or whatever the case may be. Like I said, if they did, then that's on them. To me, that shows me what kind of hurt feelings that they have inside, that they just have to get out and have to make fun of somebody and have to say something negative to somebody because they feel bad. Like I said, I definitely felt sorry for the people who, of course, were making fun of me back in the day because of my speech. Because look at me now, I'm of course on video, I'm speaking all the time, doing videos, doing interviews, doing my YouTube channel, all those kind of things. Like I said, I'm not afraid to get out there to, of course, tell who I am, to tell what kind of experiences I've had, to, of course, speak my truth on anything. And like I said, I know that if I would have kept that same mindset back in the day, you will not see me on video as you are seeing me right now. I probably would still be scared to get up and speak. I probably would still be harboring all those ill feelings. And of course, I never know what my blessings are going to be. As far as lately, I had been invited on a podcast. I did an interview with Mike Chavez as well, to of course tell my story and talk about my business and that kind of thing as well. Like I said, and moving forward in my life, I knew that I had to move forward at some point. I can't just harbor all these feelings and not being able to, of course, talk on video and not being able to even, of course, talk in front of clients or whoever it is. To, of course, tell anything. Like I said, I definitely had to realize that if I wanted to progress in life and wanted to, of course, become whatever it was I wanted to become, that I had to let that go. And I had to realize, like I said, that I was better than that. I knew that I was better than that, and I knew I can, of course, make those changes regardless of what anybody else has said about my speaking or my speech or anything along those lines. Like I said, that's how I was able to forgive. I know usually when people are making fun of you and that kind of thing, they're, of course, hurting as well. And I know you're going to hear that more and more as I go along in this series, that hurt people. We all know that. And like I said, I definitely feel sorry for them at that time and now, just thinking about, of course, what kind of things they may have been going through on themselves. They may have been fearful to speak. I don't even know if they actually got in front of the class and talked or not. I have no idea. But of course, if they see me now, they see that all those things that they said about me in the past are not affecting me, and it's causing me to, of course, move forward and to progress in my life and not keep me stunted, keep my growth stuck in the same box, keep me at the same place and not progressing anywhere. Like I said, they see me now like, oh my God, we made fun of that girl talking. Now she's all over the place. Yes, you did. I put it that way. And like I said, whatever you said back then, those mean things, they do not affect me at all. I guess I can tell you that. So like I said, I just want to make sure that I came on this morning with this 31 days of forgiveness. And this is day number 1, talking about the folks that made fun of my speech. I just hope that for those of you who did pop in and off, that kind of thing, that something in this video may have sparked within your brain or your mind to let you know that you are able to forgive and you're able to move on and not block your blessings anymore. The blessings that God has for you and the blessings that whoever else out there has for you as well. You never know who's watching you. You never know who's, of course, studying you, looking at what you're doing, and you never know what kind of things they may want to, of course, come together with you on and connect with you on. So you definitely have to look at that when you're looking at, of course, speaking and speech and that kind of thing and moving forward and trying to, of course, get yourself out there in your business or whatever you're trying to do. Like I said, we all have that capability. You don't have to stay stuck in the fear that you cannot speak in front of anybody, that you cannot get on camera and speak because somebody's going to say something negative or somebody's going to put you down. Okay, that's fine. Keep on moving forward if that's what you know you want to do and that's how you want to move forward and that's what you want to speak your truth on. Go ahead and do those things. At some point, we have to realize that when, of course, people are making fun of us, and I know it hurts. I know we've all been bullied at some point. I know it hurts. But like I said, we definitely have to take time out to actually look at those feelings, what kind of feelings those people are triggering within you, and of course deal with that. Like I said, there's no healing process that I know of that you can just go on and say, oh, I just dropped those folks and go ahead and move on. You're still going to be triggered if somebody else does the same thing to you in 10 years. You're going to have those same feelings and those same kind of emotions come up. You have to deal with those emotions. I know people have said, of course, your past don't affect your future. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. When your past is affecting your future and you moving forward, you cannot forget about any of those things. I don't care what they've told you. I'm telling you different, I guess I put it that way. Because I know your past is going to affect your future, especially if you cannot get over the bitterness and the resentment and the hurt feelings, the hate that you had in the past is going to affect everything that you do in the future, in the present and in the future. So like I said, I'm here to tell you, I'm telling you that as a coach, and I'm telling you that as a social worker, and I'm telling you that as somebody who's been through a hell of a lot and who's experienced all these things, and of course can tell you now those are the lessons that I've learned. I know folks have all kind of stuff that they tell you, don't worry about the past, don't do this and do that, but what person do you not know that our past affects our future? And like I said, we'll talk more about that in the other situations that I went through as well. But like I said, our past always affects our future, especially if it's in a negative way and we are stuck in unforgiveness, we're stuck in resentment, we're stuck in bitterness, we're stuck in, I can't even move forward because so-and-so said I can't talk, so I can't even finish doing my passion, doing my dreams. That is affecting our future, so how is it not? Like I said, our past is always going to affect us. We just have to learn how to deal with it, how to clear it, and how to heal from it and move on from it. And that's where forgiveness comes in at. Like I said, you definitely have to get on the path. I know some folks, of course, still may be saying that, oh, this is stupid. I wouldn't forgive somebody for doing all these things, but I'm going to get into more depth about other things that has happened as well, that some of you may can identify with as well. So I know with this video is just a little bit about the speaking and my stuttering back in the day and how I got over that. But like I said, that was definitely something that I had to do because I knew it was going to stunt my future and it's going to stunt my progression throughout life. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get my butt off here because I actually got to make something for breakfast this morning. But definitely go ahead and, like I said, if you all are tuning in right now, definitely catch the replay and definitely let me know if you or somebody that you know of have been bullied, of course, about their speech or had stuttered and, of course, are scared to speak on video or scared to still stand up in front of folks and speak and that kind of thing. Definitely put those in the comments down below because I definitely want to hear from you. So I know I'm not the only one who was made fun of for like the way that they talked, the way that they sounded, that kind of thing as well. Definitely put that in the comments down below because I would love to hear from you all. So with that, I want to just thank you all for tuning in to my 31 days of forgiveness. Like I said, this was kind of a simple, more of like some of like the simpler topics that I'll be talking about. I guess I put it that way. Because some of the other things that we'll be talking about in these 30, I guess in the next 30 days are going to be a lot of things that, of course, did affect me throughout life and have affected other people as well, I'm sure. Especially, like I said, when it comes to things, our parents being raised in our environments, all those kind of things. I will talk about a lot of those things as well. So like I said, definitely stay tuned. Make sure that you're coming back to this page to speak your truth. And if you have not liked the page or followed the page, definitely do so. Because this whole month, I'm going to be talking about forgiveness. So with that, I'm going to get off here. I want to say thank you all for tuning in. And I hope that this video inspired somebody or just had a light bulb go off in somebody's head today that was having problems in the issue of their speaking and their speech and or stuttering and that kind of thing, so that they can, of course, start working on those things as well. And if you need tips from me, definitely let me know. I do not mind. You can just reach out to me in the comment section here or on Messenger is fine as well, especially if you need tips on what I did, how I did it, that kind of thing, as far as getting past learning how to better speak. I guess I put it that way. So with that, I'm going to get off here. Thank you all again. And for those who watch the replay, definitely I thank you as well. And make sure that you're putting down in the comments below if you've had this kind of situation occur with you as far as your speaking, your speech, your stuttering, and how you being afraid to, of course, speak and talk, how that's affected your life if you're comfortable putting it down there. So with that, I want to say thank you again. Everybody have a great and blessed day. Bye-bye.